I am so excited you're here because this work changes careers. Seriously. Grab a pen and some paper because you're going to want to write this down. I'll wait. Okay, we are going to talk about the thoughts that you've had for years, maybe even decades. You're going to catch yourself where you played small, second guessed yourself, apologizing when you really didn't need to, or talking yourself out of opportunities before you even try. And when that happens, I want you to remember this. Nothing is wrong with you. You are becoming more aware of patterns that have been running quietly in the background for a very long time. You can't change what you can't see. Gee, where have I heard that before? And yeah, this shit is hard. It takes courage to look at yourself. It takes practice to respond differently. It takes patience to build new habits. But I can promise you two things. The first, you can do hard. The second, this will get easier. It is possible to change your relationship with your inner critic. And when you do, things start to look very different in every area of your career and your life. You become more confident, more intentional, and far less willing to let that wall of fear stop you from making decisions, even the really hard and scary ones. Think of this as a self-doubt 101 ass-kicking video for your inner critic. I do hope that you come back to this video so you can learn deeper and understand the voice of its origin story and why it's been holding you back for years. Because once you learn about your inner critic and understand what it's actually doing, it starts to lose its power. Today, that's exactly what I'm going to teach you. I want to share with you what I've learned through my own career journey and the experience of coaching hundreds of women just like you. Your inner critic isn't trying to ruin your life. It's trying to protect you. Now, before you roll your eyes, hear me out. I've got some real shit to talk about. Let's start with a little neuroscience because understanding the why will help you see the lie. See what I did there? Your brain, it's wired for one primary purpose: to keep you alive. Every one of us is born with a built-in survival system. That part of the system is a small structure in your brain called the amygdala, or your lizard brain. Think of it as your brain's alarm system. It's constantly scanning your environment, asking one question: am I safe? If the answer is no, it immediately activates your fight, flight, or freeze response. And in that moment, your logical thinking, your prefrontal cortex, shuts down because survival becomes the priority. Thousands of years ago, that system kept our ancestors alive. If a tiger showed up, their brain didn't stop to analyze the situation. It basically screamed, "Get the fuck out of here!" Now, today, most of us aren't running from the tiger, but we are navigating uncertainty, rejection, criticism, failure, difficult conversations, and the fear of what other people might think. The tiger has changed, but your brain did not. And even though you're physically safe, your survival system is still trying to protect you from emotional pain, also in the amygdala, your emotions. So whether you're facing a tiger or walking into a meeting where you're about to ask for a promotion, or you might be doing something really exciting, your body responds with adrenaline, preparing you. Your heart races, your palms get sweaty, your breathing changes. Are any of you hearing the Eminem song? You get butterflies, your stomach tightens, you feel a rush of nervous energy. Sound or maybe feel familiar? Those are many of the exact same sensations you experience when you're excited. Think about it. The last time you were really excited about what was going to happen, your heart was racing then too. Your palms were sweaty. The body doesn't know the difference between I'm in danger and I'm doing something super fun or important. It sends the same signals. And because it's signaling your brain that there may be danger ahead, what happens? Your brain rings that alarm and your inner critic is going to take over. Because here's what happens next. Your survival system isn't saying, "Congratulations, you're growing." Nope, it says, "Whoa, hold on. This feels risky. Hard pass." And when your IC takes over, all bets are off. You are no longer in charge. That voice is. Have you ever noticed your inner critic doesn't really show up when you're folding laundry, doing the dishes, or binge watching Netflix? No. It shows up right before the presentation, right before that difficult conversation, right before you hit send on that email, or maybe when you're about to ask for what it is that you're worth, right before you do something that actually is going to forward your career. That's not a coincidence. The inner critic is simply the voice of your survival system. Its job is to convince you to stay where things feel familiar, predictable, and safe. And the problem with that? Sometimes staying safe means staying small. So write this down. When your inner critic starts chattering, this isn't proof that you're incapable or not worthy. It's proof that you're about to go outside your comfort zone. And we can't get rid of your inner critic, but we can take away its power. We just need to give it another job, like figuring out where it's going to sit in the car on this adventure that you're about to take. Let it know, sure, you can come along and you can complain, but you ain't get to drive anymore. I'm going to do the driving. Now that you know what your inner critic role is, let's learn how to recognize it. Sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's very subtle. Sometimes it's just fucking mean. It says things like, you're not good enough. Who do you think you are? You're just gonna fail. You just got lucky. Hey, you know what? You're too old for this. Or you're never going to find another job, so just suck this one up. Other times, it's much sneakier. It sounds practical, responsible, even maybe really wise. Hey, you're just not ready yet. Maybe after one more certification. Why don't you wait until you're a little more confident? Don't say anything yet. Think about it a little longer. And then the dude next to you speaks up and he looks like the genius. But see what they all have in common? Every one of those thoughts suggests that you're not enough yet. That too is the inner critic. I joke, and I'm only half kidding, that brilliant women have brilliant inner critics. The smarter you are, the more convincing that voice becomes. Mine definitely has a playlist. Whenever I'm onboarding a new client or creating a new program, or putting myself out there, it loves to play the same old songs. You don't really know what you're doing. Who are you to think you can teach something like this? No one's really going to benefit from listening to you. Your inner critic, it has a playlist too. Start listening for its greatest hits. Not so that you can continue to buy in, but you can start to recognize the chatter and see that that playlist, for what it really is, lies. Now, one more clue to help discover the inner critic. It's like that little barking dog that you hear in the neighborhood. It never offers a solution. It just tells you why you shouldn't try. It's on repeat. It speaks in absolutes. Always, never, everyone, no one. And it ends up leaving you anxious and stuck and just feeling like you're not enough. And that's because your inner critic isn't interested in facts. It's only interested in keeping you small and afraid of taking risks. Sometimes it even borrows the voices of people from your past, a parent, a teacher, a boss, an ex-husband, or someone who made you question yourself. The moment you recognize your inner critic, you create a little space. And in that space, you get to choose a different response. And that's where your power is, both in the knowledge and in the choice. You always have a choice. Now I want to offer you 3 tools to help you distinguish your inner critic voice. Number 1, name that inner critic. By giving this voice a name, it will immediately reduce the intensity of the voice, and you can establish a relationship with it because you know it's not you. Ask yourself, what's the tone of that voice? Is it loud, snarky, passive-aggressive, kind of mean, and just dark? This will help you identify and distinguish it from your inner wisdom, your intuition, your soul voice. Give that voice a name. Please don't name it after somebody you know. It doesn't have to be a proper name if something else pops into your mind. Have some fun with it. And now that you've named her, when she gets all loud and bossy, you're simply going to say, oh, hey there, Bossy Betty. Trying to call the shots again? I don't think so. Number 2, ask questions. When the IC goes into overdrive, ask it a few open-ended questions. Why now? What is it that you want me to know? What are you trying to have me avoid? By asking questions and sincerely listening, you can understand why she's losing her mind and ringing that bell. Listen to the answers and reply back, hey, thanks, Bossy Betty. I appreciate your concern, but you know what? I got this. And number 3, remove the critic from the scene. This tool is fun and brings in the body and the somatic side of things. So when you hear your Bossy Betty, you want to ask yourself, where do I feel that voice? Does it feel like it's coming from one of my ears? Does it feel like it's in my chest or maybe in the back of my shoulders or my lower back? Next, visualize that voice fading away from you, leaving the space. You might even visualize where you want it to go. Maybe it's taking a walk or riding away on an e-bike, or maybe it just got run over by a bus. Bump, bump. Whatever kind of imagery works for you, go for it. And one of the questions I get asked all the time, how do you know if it's my inner critic or if I'm just being realistic? Realistic thinking is important. Sometimes we do have skill gaps. Sometimes we really aren't ready yet. The difference is realistic thinking is based on facts and looks for solutions. The inner critic, it's based in fear and looks for the lies to tell you. Let's say you're thinking about applying for a new job. Realistic thinking. It's going to ask you, well, what skills do you already have? Where are my gaps? What can I learn? How can I prepare? See how those questions move you forward? Now, listen to the inner critic. You're not qualified. Why bother? Somebody else is going to get that job anyway. You're going to embarrass yourself. Why don't you just be grateful for what you have? Notice the difference? One is curious, the other is condemning. One looks for evidence, the other ignores it. One helps you grow, the other, it keeps you stuck and scared and worried. So, whenever you're not sure which voice you're hearing, ask yourself, is this thought helping me move forward, or is it convincing me to stay where I'm at? That question alone will tell you a lot. Because if you're stretching into a new leadership role, or getting more visibility, or going for a bigger goal, or simply becoming more of who you are meant to be, self-doubt, it's going to show up. That's part of growth. And here's something I really, truly hope you take away from this long after this video is over. New level, new devil. Every time you step outside that comfort zone, you step into uncertainty, aka worry, fear. And uncertainty wakes up that survival system. It rings the alarm for your inner critic to wake up. When you hit this new level, the noise, it's going to get really loud. But that doesn't mean that you're sliding backwards. It means that you're pushing your own boundaries. You're pushing outside your comfort zone. And as you grow, your inner critic, she's going to get smarter. That's the new devil. And by the time you actually figure this out, you know you have tools to quiet down the voice. Remember, the goal isn't to become permanently confident, and it isn't to get rid of your inner critic, because you can't. The goal is to stop letting it make decisions for you out of fear. Your job is to decide when safe is simply too small. So write this down. New level, new devil. If your inner critic is screaming, it doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. It means you're about to go outside of your comfort zone. And your job is to decide when safe and stuck don't work for you anymore. Now, we've tackled the internal side, and I encourage you to keep playing and strengthening this muscle. But it's not just in your head. There are many areas we as women have been told we are not really very good at. We're going to uncover and reclaim those in some upcoming videos. But be sure to watch the last video in this promotion playbook series, Your Red Zone. We're going to round it out and give you some great information on how to go get that promotion, or at the very least, get the ball rolling. So I'll see you next time. And if you want, let me know what your inner critic name is. I'd love to hear from you.